Yeah, Edo G, 2000, Primo. Yeah, niggas claim they running this house, they just running their mouth. You ain't saying nothing. Yo. If the opportunity was to present itself, I might just have to go and reinvent myself. Hook up a chick in advance, don't stick whenever the chance. Sometimes I hit, most of the time I dick in my pants. It's on dogs, put your life on pause. Your head's wrapped up in bras and draws, fighting a lost cause. We break laws.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Punchmans Report. My name is Rusty Seabutter.
And I'm Jimmy Burrito.
And we're here bringing you the Week 4 action for REL Divisions 5 and Division 4. The Fearsome 5 and the Fightin' 4s. It almost sounds like it should be reversed, right? Like the Fightin' 5s and the Fearsome 4s. But it's not. It's the other way around.
You haven't seen this death toll, have you, for REL4? Then you wouldn't be joking around with such levity.
I know. Well, there's a blood moon over both divisions, it seems like, last few weeks. What was it? All games but one had a death last week for the 5s, and then, man, there's a lot of death in 4 this week.
Blood moon.
Blood moon. Yeah, so how did your game go this week?
That was crap.
Speaking of moon.
I won, but my free agent Wolf died. So, back to square 2.
It's like square 3. Could be a bit worse.
Could be worse, but it's not great.
No. You got,
How about you? How's your game?
It was good. It was, I guess, reasonably uneventful. I did lose a decent blitzer in the mix, who's going to be pretty handy now that I'm going into Elftown for the next 5 or 6 games. Yeah. But it's good. Won, so I'm 4-0-0, and now everyone's talking about my team and how to kill it all the time, which is a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
I like being under the radar a little bit more than this.
Have a werewolf, and everybody talks about killing your best player all the time.
That's true, I guess.
No matter what your record is.
I guess you're kind of used to it, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess without ado, we can start jumping right in to Division 5. You good to go?
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's do it. Let's look at some scoreboards. All right, and who do we got first?
First up, we got a big one. Castlevania Creeps 3-0 win over Gamba's Gals.
Yeah, I watched a good bit of this game, and I don't really have a lot more description for it other than Jesus Christ vampires. This is a really good Amazon team, and he almost kind of made it look easy. The vampires just basically ran wherever they want and did whatever they want. And now they're starting to get a little killy. He was talking when he was hanging out with us. He was talking about getting a little more kill power on this team, and it looks like it's kind of starting to shape up.
Man. Yeah, once you start having you can start dedicating more Mighty Blow towards your vamps and stuff like that. You don't have to worry about getting them all both blodge and pro if you want it. It just really starts opening them up for some crazy stuff.
Oh yeah, well he's getting some tackle and some Mighty Blow and some frenzy, and it's just starting to. They're turning into that high TV vampire team that's just a nightmare. And he does even in this game. You saw he did. He was eating his thralls as he kind of tends to do, but he mitigates very well against it. And I guess that's why he's 4-0-0 right now.
Yeah. Yeah, this week, both his level ups, he got 2 vamp levels this week. Incubus and Bronner, both of them picked up Sidestep. So now he's got 2 Blodge Step vamps. One of them's plus move, and one of them has pass and pro. So
it's great.
A wild ride.
It's great for everybody. Gamba, on the other hand, really wasn't able to do much of anything. The dodge didn't seem to hold up very well. 13 armor breaks to 8. Is fairly indicative. I mean, at the same time, Gamba's gals with 36 blocks to 29 on the Castlevania Creeps, kind of showing that punching power.
Yeah, luckily no perms though. 1 KO, 2 Kaz, nothing stuck, and Really nothing to note out of this game. A couple...
I think there was a thrall that got permed, wasn't there?
There's a thrall that got strength busted and fired. Simon Belmont.
Simon Belmont, a hero of one of the Castlevania games.
WrestleFend thrall hero did not make it. R.I.P. Man, 11 SVP on Incubus this game. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so 10 SVP for the gals. Modest take, but nothing else. No levels. On to the next one.
Yeah.
Gamba.
Congrats, SFG Sam. Sorry, Gamba. These things happen. Oh, and next we got the Battle of the Chorfs.
Chorf off. Doom
Chorf.
Anvil's 1-0 win over Thunderstrike. Chunderstrike. Chunder. What's Chunder? That's a thing. Maybe
Is that like a New England food of some sort? It's like what you eat with chowder. You get chowder and you chunder. Yeah, pretty similar core stat lines here. 13 armor breaks to 10 with both pulling and expulsion. Almost identical block numbers. 38 to 37. Doom Anvil's doing a little bit better on the KOs, and that would appear to kind of be the difference in the game. Was a little bit more removals. A whole lot more ball possession. And almost identical yards running.
Yeah. Chunder is spew, by the way, just in case it's throwing up.
Oh, it's just a term for vomit.
Never mind. Yeah, but Wolf Ramajax was asking me before this game. He was a little worried about this Chorfoff. He was asking me for like tips on how to not get steamrolled by the Doom Anvils, and I have to say I didn't really have too much to say except foul with your best pieces to get them out of the way, and if you're not in the chance to win it, just try and keep your guys alive. But it sounds like he made it a game. Like no perms, nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I mean, other than the time of possession, it's almost the exact same rushing yards distance. Pretty similar removals other than the KO differential. Ball possession, I guess, reflects a bit, maybe they took the ball away from them at some point. But even the SPP both got their MVP, and then two Kaz each, and then Morka getting that touchdown. That's the only difference in the game.
Yeah, that touchdown was on turn 16, and it sounds like in the first half it was just playing keep away, setting up elf pillars against them, and minimizing blocks. And then the second half, his dice got hot and just started to break.
Right.
But like he says, it's his broke his streak of losing a blocker a game. So that's a big stop.
So you see, you're turning the corner there, Wolf Ramajax.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's about covers it here. Who we got next?
Yeah. Next up, we got Frozen Dead North's 1-0 win over Cogs of War 4.
Yeah, and I feel like I watched this game and I didn't take notes. But as you can see, this was a slobber knocker. 18 armor breaks to 12. Doesn't quite give away that it was over 100 blocks in this game. 64 for Frozen Dead North.
20-something blocks, yeah.
Everyone was punching everyone all game, but Frozen Dead North turned that into a lot more injuries inflicted against the dwarves than vice versa.
Yeah. Yeah, one got all KOs and one got all Kaz. Luckily, nothing perm. He is missing the other Troll Slayer now for this game. Marcus Phoenix missed next game. I think he had his other Troll Slayer was out for this game, so it's like he's leapfrogging his Troll Slayers from game to game.
Yeah.
And then Frozen Dead North got a ghoul and a Frank level, so that's pretty big. Fresh ghoul, so first level on him, which is
nice. He just took block or something.
Makes him a real boy.
Or is he going wrestle with the ghoul for a popper?
Oh man, I really love the wrestle ghoul. Let me take a quick look. Let's see what he took. Yep, he took a wrestle ghoul. So his ghoul that got MVP has block, sure hands, fend, yada yada. So he's covered on a ball carrier. So now he needs a sacker. Picked it up, and then the other Frank got guard. So now he's got 2 block guard Franks. They are complete.
They are ready to go, ready for the big time. This team.
Yep.
And,
yeah, so some key development he got on this team in the last 2 games, getting the white and the ghoul levels. Sorry, Frank levels.
Yeah, and from the look of the thing, I'm guessing he started with the ball and was able to eat the entire first half clock before scoring. and then the dwarves were unable to make their drive. With the 88 yards rushing versus 64 and 50% ball possession to 31. But man, it was punchy. This is a punchy game.
Yeah.
Tons of SVP over on the Frozen Dead North side. What is that? That is 14, 18. Not tons, but still, 18 is a nice haul compared
5
to 7.
cows, a touchdown, and MVP, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas you just got the one hurt over there for the Cogs of War, and then their MVP for 7 points on the day. Which is a disappointing take and a loss. It's probably a disappointing game. He does have an expulsion, so... Oh, that was his roller. Oh, that's right. He didn't even, like, remove his roller on turn 2 or some shit.
I don't know.
I think so. All right. Who do we got next?
Next up, we got Can We Do It? 1-1 tie versus Nightmare on Elf Street. Sunhawk. Getting MVP on a loner that got hurt.
Oh, and
Fair
this looks like
enough,
a bloody one. 23
two-
armor breaks, 2 expulsions for the Kimry.
Yeah. A death on the elves. Let me see what that was. That was just a loner lineman that died. So, no loss. No big loss.
And no perms of note in the game?
No perms in this game. Yeah, so blocks were relatively close, 47 to 31, but the breaks really went for the Kemri, 23 to 6. That said, 3 KOs apiece, 4 Kaz and a kill for the Kemri. So
Yeah.
just effective removals for the Kemri.
And it does
Clearing
look like
the
there
way.
was an extra casualty sustained, so either a failed dodge or something, or that fouling game managed to get someone hurt and out of the game.
Yeah.
But even then, with the solid punching game and 100 yards rushing for Kimry Do It, they're not able to take the win in this game.
Yeah, these Dark Elves have a number of Stat Freak Agi5 players, so I'm not surprised they were able to pull it off despite getting pummeled.
Yeah. Yeah, not a lot of SPP take for the Elves, but I think salvaging a tie out of a punching like this is pretty nice. Wrecking Ball Ron, on the other hand, had a 9-point game, which is massive.
Yep.
So, at least a decent take for the Kimry in the tie in a game they probably felt should have been theirs. It's 12% ball possession for the Elves, too, so that's a pretty quick score.
Yeah.
All right, what's up next?
Next up, we got We Chillin' versus Flingin' Fun. 1-0 win for the other Dark Elves.
Yeah, this was a wild one. I watched this one. I've been meaning to kind of watch We Chillin', and as I suspected, he is indeed a pretty good Dark Elf coach. Knows what he's doing, and he basically frustrated and kept these halflings from doing what they wanted the vast majority of the game. The game opened up with a halfling drive, and I believe the ball changed hands 5 times over the course of that drive. Like, they just kept taking it from each other, and that included a bunch of tree throws, a bunch of removals, 2 uphill ball pops by the halflings, and then going into half they were 0-0 with the ball coming back to the Dark Elves. And then in the second half, the Dark Elves just scored on turn 10. They just ran up the sideline, screened. Halflings couldn't really get over there in time to do anything, even though there was a nice little tree throw to hit one of the cage corners. Didn't matter. Scored, and then they were able to keep the halflings from scoring with another kind of. It was very similar to when the halflings had their drive when they got the ball back in the second half. It was 3 or 4 possession changes over the course of that. So wild game. Big win for We Chill, and Mr. Christie really brought it with Flingin' Fun as he always does, but no win to show for it this week.
Yeah, blocks were basically tied, 36-37. So managing to get those punches in with your halflings is pretty impressive. But the breaks and the removals, 8 KOs and Kaz, 8 removals for the Dark Elves and on 14 armor breaks.
Yeah, and they were
Tough.
good ones, too. I think going into the second half, the halflings were down their plus strength guy, their dirty player, and one of their DT pieces. So it was kind of important pieces to their drive, even though I know he wants, or I don't know, he corrected me for saying he wants to get rid of his strength guy, but despite his lack of affection, it seems like a very important piece to this team.
Yeah. Luckily, no lasting damage really for either team. Agi bust on a halfling that had no levels, and move bust on a dark elf lineman that had no levels. So
Yeah, relatively clean for as much damage as was in this game. The fouls, there's probably more sustained. No, only one casualty sustained. So I thought maybe some of those fouls turned into injuries, but it doesn't look like it. But yeah, good win. Decent SPP take, not amazing. About, what is that? 15 for the elves and 7 for the flings. Yeah. And it's hard to even get a read on the yards running in this game because they were basically taking the ball, running away from each other, and then someone would pop it on the next turn and give it back. It was, it was something.
And some good MVPs in this match too, leaving both players to 2 SPP away from the next level.
Yeah, Loto Cotton continues his climb towards legend.
First legend halfling.
Working on it.
He's definitely not going to make it now.
No, not that I opened his picture on my computer and he's all highlighted here. I need to make a little like rain cloud with a skull on it that I'll just put over the top of him.
Yeah. Cast a curse. Poor space line.
We'll get to him.
Yeah, let's move on to the next game. Rottingham Rockers 2-0 win over Corn's Glory.
Let's do it.
I just saw in Discord chat earlier today that Corn's Glory's coach Tim Coins is on vacation, so he's going to miss a game or two or something.
Okay, so he's a bye for a couple weeks.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I don't know how long, but worry not. He's not. He's not afraid of the loss that he sustained, and he sustained some loss.
He did. 13 armor breaks to 9 in favor of the Nurgles. It looks like the Nurgles just got more production out of their punching in this one. Yeah. Almost identical blocks in the game, but massive amount of ball possession for the Rockers, almost none for Corn's Glory, and then those punches almost inverse KO to injury ratios with both teams taking a kill.
Yeah, so same removals, but one was KOs, one was Kaz.
Yeah.
Like, no KOs, no Kaz coming back on that one side. Yeah, and the death on both sides. We lost to Rotter, Bonsnot, the Lesser, RIP, Rotter, and then lost Beastman with no levels, so that's okay for the Corn's Glory. But took an armor bust on Point Knee Beard, Beastman with Horns Might Blow Claw, so that's a bummer.
That is
He's
a bummer.
Agi busted and armor busted now. And he took a niggle on his other Brisfagors, one of his few Beastmen with block, along with Claw Mighty Blow guard. And then a miss next game in the Minotaur, which picked up MVP, so that's neat.
Yeah, only 4 to go for that next one. I don't know. I still don't know about carrying a Minotaur, but
no, I mean,
might as well see what he gets.
It works with this team's gimmick, but as a like try hard winning piece, I think it's terrible. But good on you. You're not in it to be a regular role, killer chaos team or Agi 5 chaos team. You're in it with a gimmick where you don't need no Agi dice. You just need regular dice and not take block.
That's right. And you can just watch as your bolt throws little tantrums in the middle of the field every game.
It's too wild.
Not next game. Next game he will be out. I guess it won't matter because you'll be out yourself.
That's true. All right. Good win for the Rockers.
It was.
Moving on to You Worship Chaos's 2-1 win over Ars Goatia.
And the surprise, we actually have the coach of Ars Goatia back in the green room. So we'll bring him out and have him take a quick look at the game. All right, and up for the final score here, we have a special guest. We got Zeazetta joining us.
Hello.
Yeah, he's here to join me to talk about his match this week with Ars Goatia and You Worship Chaos.
It's quite a match.
Yeah, I actually just finished watching it. That was part of my delay in catching up with you here today. I wanted to get a good sense of what happened. Say again?
Yep. There wasn't much to watch though, so yeah.
It was just kind of one of those. I don't know if you remember our interview with Ornan when we were talking about Norse, and he kind of expounded on the concept of tempo, and this was a really good example of tempo.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we can just click this and just get into it.
Yeah. So looking at the top line of the scores, looked like he had 20 armor breaks, tier 9. With the 2-1 win. I believe your score came at about turn 10 or 11 in the second half on your drive, and you had basically nobody left at that point to do much about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I got diced completely. I think I misplayed actually on setups. Because usually I review these games, and when he frenzied with his both Zerkers, I think I definitely should have placed my the Guard Chaos Warrior there. So just in case he frenzied, it'd be a 1 dice, and it wouldn't get hit. And if they did stand there, I at least get another hit.
Oh, so like out of the Protect 5, you would have put the guard pieces on either interior corner?
Yeah. Well, in like right behind the LOS, like right after that LOS setup where 3-mans. Yep.
Gotcha.
So maybe that's where I misplayed, but other than that. Gazgo played very well. Had fouled me all he could with his dirty player. That's where the armor race I think rised up. He fouled I think once every turn, maybe 2 turns later on. And yeah, not much I could say about that.
I mean, that's kind of the Norse game plan, right? Like, I mean, the thing that was most interesting to me with his setups was that he put all his piling on guys up on the line, basically strong lined or like a small strong line, and it really paid off for him. He got 2 removals and a stun on the opening turn. Yeah, and you were just on your heels from that point. He had, very quickly kind of folded into the side and had a pretty good foothold. And I think one of the removals was your corner on the Protect 5 bit in the back, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
The Mighty Blow Beastman, who sadly got nickeled, so I just canned him and got a new one, luckily. After my game with Spirit Crusher, I basically lost my bench, and Gazco just made me realize that even worse, of like, I can't win these matchups once the tempo started rolling. And boy did it rolled.
Well, it's kind of it's an interesting statistical example of a tempo game because you really didn't lose the block fight by much. 29 to 33 blocks. He even did okay. You got 3 injuries to his 3 injuries. He did get 3 more KOs with a few opportunities to get him back. But most of those blocks were not great blocks, and whereas he was getting setups that he wanted pretty much through the whole match, as best I could tell.
Yeah. It was definitely. I didn't feel like it was a complete dicing. As some people can rewatch the game and say, I lost by turn 3, definitely. But it wasn't due to dice. I mean, you can say that maybe I could have gotten better hits in with POWs on certain oaths and Zerkers, but I think I played it as best as I can, especially since I had the ability to score on the second half, where I thought it was almost over. Though, granted, all my KOs did come back on that half, so it made it a little bit easier. But I think on positioning, I played that fairly well. It did take a lot of dice. I think it was a 3+, 4+, 2+, 2+ to get the score.
Yeah, that was a nice little play to hook back around to the Chaos Warrior and then the GFI.
Yeah. In situations like these, I think a lot of players would easily tilt and say, no, game's over. I can't win. And I see it as, I think me playing especially, every game is winnable, even if you're down.
Oh yeah.
I think it's more of the how you can outplay him. Yes, he has the better bash dice. Yes, you're down like 5 guys. Can you at least outposition him? Is he gonna like overcommit? Because I think a lot of players who are in that stance tend to think, oh, well, I outmanned him and I have the numbers advantage, so I can just go all in. And some dicing can happen with that.
That's a good attitude to have.
I
And I
mean,
think
even-
it's a very human and very normal kind of reaction for people to have, where they once they start getting rolled on, they begin to feel that the dice are against them. But it's a long game, and there's a lot of turns. There's 32 turns throughout the game for things to go wrong for your opponent and things to go right for you. And even if things start off rough, you never know what's going to happen. So you just got to keep plugging and punching.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
lean into your dice a little bit more, but you're an Agi 3 team across the board. So it's
Yeah.
not like you can't make plays late or pull off some quasi-elf bullshit if you need to.
Even in the SVP, it doesn't look that bad as like I completely got shut out considering the blocks. I got that's 9, 12, about 13ish SPP from that game that lost. I think that's considering that I had no bench and I was already down. I consider that a good enough win. Sure, he got shit more SPP due to Cassis, but what can you do on that? You can't stop the SPP roll.
No. Once Norse gets tempo like that, and this is a particularly killy Norse team as well. They got a lot of piling on boys, which you saw firsthand.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna happen.
Yeah, I was with Gaskell last season, and it was the opposite actually. I won against him. So if I'm remembering right, that season I got the tempo on him since he was AV7. I had the mighty blow hits piling on, and then now he had it. So it's a good insight on how to do bash matchups. And again, with the setup that I said, put the guard piece against the Norse after I saw the frenzy. I think there's like little mistakes that I can still fix or improve upon, and so it doesn't seem a complete shutout at least.
Oh no. I mean, I think it was very much a 1-2 game in terms of what you put forward in terms of your positioning and strategy and what you kind of got out of the game, given the way things rolled early on you. But yeah, good. Sorry for the loss, but it was a good 1-2 loss, all things considered.
I'm not out of it yet. I'm not out of it yet, Rusty. All right.
No,
I see you smiling.
You're not out of it yet at all.
Yep.
So I guess we'll have you head back to the green room here, and actually, we're just gonna roll right into our next segment, and we will do some spotlights, and we are going to do a spotlight for you since we got you here in studio to talk about Ars Goatia.
Hey, baby, kom me zien, laat me je zeggen wat ik heb. Hey, ik heb mijn broek laag, vet laag, yep, iedereen roept. Stop.
All right, and here we are looking at the team itself, Ars Goatia. Anything you want to tell us about this team right up front?
I made a mistake very early on building it. As you can see, Epos is of course my main killer.
Yeah.
But then I have no literally secondary killer, and I think my biggest mistake was I developed the ball carrier way too early. Because I think
did get that
if you remember, I did, but this was I think first season. I didn't get the Agi later on. First season I had the ball carrier, who was just a standard ball carrier with sure hands, block. Two heads.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Floros came along later.
And then Floros came along later. That's right. But I didn't build another Mighty Blow Beastman until later on, so I couldn't get the tackle. I can get I like to think of it as two blitzers. One being extremely risky with high rewards, Mighty Blow, Claw, and then block, and then the other one being Mighty Blow, Tackle, and then block, where he's very safe and he will get hits, but he won't get very much results if it's against a high AV.
Yeah, it's always tricky until you get that kind of Claw Mighty Blow combo, which for Chaos seems to be so critical to getting the removals you need for this team to really work.
Yeah.
And I think you see it a lot across REBBL is Chaos teams that kind of either struggle to establish and keep playing their one warrior there and then two killer goats. Usually you see kind of 1-on-1. And then it's a lot like this. It's a lot of dinged up goats with kind of medium development and maybe one or two Chaos warriors that bit the dust and had to get rebooted. But at least you got block across the board. That's nice.
At least I got block, yeah. I was super lucky that Belif got I think he got an extra cast during Gaskell's game, or it was on Spirit Crusher's game. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I'm glad I have block. Gushan's chugging up there. Asmodeus is a little bit. I'm still hesitant at times to give the ball to him, mostly because I think I placed my Chaos Warriors way too aggressively, which you should, of course. But I think I do it a bit more where then I just can't call him back and then hand the ball to him and then he touches down. I think that's one of my biggest weaknesses as a coach itself. But yeah, let's just go down the list really fast, I guess. Barbados with the Blodge guard already next level.
Yeah, he's right there on the cusp. He's, what, 2 points away?
Yeah, so just a cast or a touchdown.
What are you thinking you're going to do with him?
So I'm thinking of making him a pillar of sorts. Obviously, stand firm is an instant for him because the Blodge firm is just so good.
Yeah, it is.
I've thought about maybe tackle considering I'm against Zon's next, but that's not happening, I guess, now. So it's another problem that I have with this team is that I don't have any tackle. I only have one on Epos.
Right, and he's probably the single biggest target on your team, so everybody's focusing fire on him. And if you lose him, then you really can't stop proper dodgy teams or reliably hit them at least.
Even stunty teams, I've been beat by I will not beat, but like tied against where I think I should have won against some stunty teams in Devastational.
Yeah,
just because I just can't hit them.
Well, it's kind of like the year of the Halfling. There have been a bunch of really good Halfling teams this year.
Yeah,
like,
Mr. Christie's really impressing me on those Halflings.
He's great.
Can't wait to face him.
Well, and Kakengrad down in like 7 or something like that. Isn't he 4-0 right now?
He might be. He might be. I thought is Kakengrad playing Halflings?
I believe that's him, isn't it? There's a 4-0 Halfling team. I believe it's Kaken's. But and then there's a couple others that have 2 wins or like a win and a tie. Yeah. So they're having a nice year.
I still theorize that one of these years, no one's gonna talk to each other, but we're just gonna all re-roll into the stunty team because we're trying to win for the stunty cup.
I mean, my plan is honestly probably go on goblins once my orc team blows up. Like once they finally run into that claw blender. I might do a year or 2 or 3 of goblins, or as long as I can ride them.
Yep. So next here we got Belif with the standard Mighty Blow start into claw into the block. The reason I gave him Mighty Blow first instead of block was because he was actually the youngest for a while, and so I just thought, all right, Mighty Blow, have to blitz with him a bit more, get the kickstart going on, because with a Chaos, I do think for team building, it's a very much snowball effect of how much can you greed and play safe. Where you see certain Chaos teams like, let's say, Chabexu, I think his name is.
Yeah, he's up in 3 with me.
He's in 3, yeah. He's a very control Chaos team where a lot of his beastmen, of course, have skills such as wrestle, tackle, block, and he starts very strong with the block. And that's a completely fair start, but I think you can get a little bit more, which I'm going for. Wrong a bit, because I didn't get more Mighty Blow than I should have. And kickstart your Chaos Warriors, because once you get the bash game going, and once you have the numbers game going, Chaos is a very, very heavy-hitting monster.
Yeah, I think on paper, and in terms of potential, I don't know that there's any team that has like a greater high-end potential. Maybe you could debate Nurgle. And in terms of pure bash, of course, I'm exempting elves because I don't really even understand elves. But Chaos, they got strength access, they got general access across the board, and then they can roll doubles on to get some blodge, jump up, diving tackle. And there's really nothing they can't do in terms of the bash thing. The real problem they seem to run into is that it's a little bit of the AV8 on the goats, means that you got to cycle goats a lot. And I don't know what, I think it's just a curse on the Chaos Warriors, but they seem to get killed or like strength permanent.
Or in Sace's terms, just movement busted. They just go for the kneecaps.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like it happens all the time. It's hard to find a fully developed Chaos team like the way my Orcs are or something like that, where almost everybody's like got level 3 and 4 and 5. Usually it's kind of like what you're dealing with here, where you've got 3 or 4 or 4 or 5, I guess, fairly developed players, and then the rest are trying to keep up but keep dying.
Yeah,
and maybe that's because you got to use them like zombies to clog the way for the good pieces.
A bit. I also think it's me not because I think I'm addicted to that IG4. Let's just go into Florals, because there's not much about Gusion and Asmodeus. They're just the standard block guard, just to get a little bit support and guard going on.
Yeah.
And block, just because he was my last Chaos Warrior that I leveled, so I don't want to go the Mighty Blow route, because I think that's way too risky in terms of where I am right now in the standards. So I just want a decent player.
Oh, for sure. I mean, this is a beautiful carry goat.
Yep.
All around, and scoop goat with the big hand.
Yeah, what more can I ask for? It's just Agi4, I guess Agi5, of Agi on the first level into Sure Hands. This is, of course, after I actually had my original ball carrier for the first season I was playing against the Undead team. I'm sorry, I can't remember your name or your team, but I knew you're Undead. So originally I just had a standard carrier goat with Sure Hands, 2 heads, extra arms, block. And then I rolled Floros into Agi. So I was thinking Floros to be the sacker, of course. Give him...
Right, strip ball
block.
tackle.
Yeah, right,
Wrestle,
strip ball
maybe.
tackle. And then, if he's lucky, doubles into leave and just have a blast with him. But carrier goat died, so I just made Floros my carrier. And he's doing a pretty good job. I think big thing about the team is why did you go with big hand and not, let's say, 2 heads so you can dodge through all tackle zones?
Yeah, just
basically?
like squirt right through like a goblin.
Yeah, and I think something that I've noticed is with some Chaos teams, retrieval is very hard, especially against elves or orcs, where if they sack you or if they hit you, yes, you can hit back. But then if you just can't, especially in my case, because I don't have enough tackle, they just have tackle zones everywhere with all their fancy blood steps. And so I think a good counter to that is Big Hand, especially with Agi4, where he just picks it up anywhere. And he just runs off with the dodge.
No, I'm endlessly jealous of mutation
Also,
skills, and like I would kill for big hand
Mutation
on
skills are
orcs.
so good.
They
Yeah.
are so good.
As well as it doesn't affect me in rain. So even if the opponent, it's raining and the opponent is on me, it's not a 3+ again still. It's still a 4+, even with the tackle zones added. So I think it's just a good skill.
So in terms of your team kind of composition and what you're building towards in the future here with kind of your supporting players, what is a bigger priority to you in terms of development? Is it guard? Is it tackle? Is it a peppering of both? Is it wrestle? What do you think the next big development step for this team is?
The next big development step is I get a Mighty Blow tackle another goat with block, of course, and that's what Agati is turning into.
Yep. 6
And then
points away should go real quick too for a Mighty
Yeah.
Blow piece.
And then the other goats, I like guard first, even though I do see the advantages to block because it keeps them safer. I just like it first because it's such a great skill where you can just plop it on any player, and then they are just so much helpful considering in bash matchups and even against non-bash matchups, where you can dictate where your opponent can hit and who they can hit.
Yeah.
Yes, it delays a lot to get to block, but I don't think it's too bad. While block is good for just keeping them alive, and maybe I should get a little peppering of block. I like guard going first, especially on Beastman. There's also, I had a wrestler, but then Spirit Crusher happened and he got trashed. So I also do think a wrestler is in need, and that's probably what Magraxley's Antler, the damn loner who took the MVP, is going to be.
Okay. Yeah, that's the one you just picked him up from this last game.
Yeah, because I need a bench and I need some development. I can't let that MVP slip away.
No, indeed. I mean, 5
So
points is
he's
5
gonna
points,
be-
and when you've got such kind of a bare cupboard of the backup goats, you need everything you can get on them.
Yep. Definitely. Especially
So
since they're
what's
so
your-
damn expensive.
What's your ideal number of guard, then, that you would want to get across this team? Are you like a 4-guard guy, a 6-guard guy?
I think around 4 to 6 is a good amount. I had 3, but then Rock damn killed it. But definitely, yeah, Rock
Rock
just
that
get
sandwich
into
hut.
that. Yep. But yeah, I think 5-guard is good enough, especially where my TV is at. I think I should have at least 4-guard by now. 2-guard would have been fine at around 1400. It's not cutting it close around here, especially with all these damn dwarves coming up and dwarves.
Yeah. Well, at least you're not up in 4 with
at least-
our boy Arabi.
Oh, Robbie.
Oh, Arabi. Okay, so second to last question for you. If you could get one dream stat up on this team, what would you want?
Strengthless on Asmodeus, Gusion, or Barbados.
On one of the Chaos
Because-
Warriors? Yeah.
On one of the Chaos Warriors. Yeah, strength up on them, because I think that's something also where I'm lacking in stats compared to like other Chaos teams that I've seen, where they just like, oh, here's my strength up Beastman. I mean, strength up Beastman, I went also down, but I think if I can just get a dream stat, Chaos Warriors with strength up, they're just so beautiful. It's basically, here's a better big guy with no downsides.
Here's a 3 Agi troll. With
Exactly.
no stupids, yeah. Nah, it's super nice.
Or you can even make a Crocs technically with a Prehensive Tail. You can just give it to them.
Oh, right, because they, now you get mutations on normals?
Yeah, mutations
Yeah,
on
you do.
normals.
Jeez.
They're so good. Yeah, Chaos is very much. I think I like to think of it as a Swiss Army knife of teams, where if you need something, you can take it. Sure, Agi is a little bit harder since they're doubles, but that's why mutations are so good. They're basically like mini stat ups. You need to dodge better, take 2 heads. You need to pick up better or catch better, take extra arms.
Yeah, I think someone's, maybe even Jimmy, described them as kind of poor man's stat ups.
Yeah.
But when you can get them on
Definitely.
normals, then that's a fantastic thing to have access to. So I guess, and the Swiss Army knife thing's kind of maybe an interesting segue into my last question for you here about this team is, and I like to have you more experienced coaches, especially for the young guys who are coming up. Say, like, if you were going to give guidance to a brand new Chaos coach playing them for the first time, like, what would your starter tips be? And since this is such a Swiss Army potential kind of team, you know, what builds would you maybe advise them to avoid against, or that you're not so fond of?
I think I would definitely avoid the kill chaos thing because it's so hit or miss. It's very much a grand snowball scheme of if it works, sure, you're gonna do great, but as a new coach, I think you're gonna get addicted to that and say, oh, Mighty Blow and Claws is always gonna work. You just get so much number advantage. And then there's the flip side to that where, oh, Mighty Blow Claw starting off is terrible because around as you get higher up, you can start to face block Mighty Blow, which is a lot better than Claw Mighty Blow since they can hit you a lot harder. And considering most of you guys are AV8, you can definitely feel it.
Yeah, you can start crumbling against even non-claw teams.
Yeah.
Since as long as they're Mighty Blow block pieces and maybe a piling on guy or two, like suddenly those goats can start falling apart real fast.
Oh, big time. I think in my statistics, I have like a lot. Yeah, I have 12 deaths, and all those are Beastmen and then 2 Chaos Warriors.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Well, hey man,
well-
thank you for coming by and hanging out with us this week.
No, I'm glad I can finally make it from my high expense paid trips to exotic islands. You know, I'm always busy, so I'm glad I could finally make stand by the office today. Stand by the studio.
Well, you're a longtime friend of the show. We've always enjoyed covering your team, and we'll try to get you back in here, and maybe get you back in when Jimmy's not on the toilet.
That's fine. I mean, my grand goal: Div 1, kill Stasis team, win the championship. That's it. That's all I want in life.
Go to Disney
in my
World.
Blood Bowl career. Go to Disney World.
Well, I wish you the best, and I think there's plenty of time to get there. Your team's in solid shape, so just keep plugging forward and get that guard.
Thank you very much, man.
You got it, dude.
Hey yo, I'm gonna be on TikTok. That's all my eyes can see. Victory is mine, yeah, surprisingly. I've been laying, waiting for your next mistake. I put in work and watch my status escalate.
All right, so just a quick look here at the leaderboard, and we can see that there's SFG Sam, Vapor Gecko, man of many names, sitting there 4-0-0 at the top of his division, just like me.
King of the fives, with the Vamps. It's impressive.
The fearsome Vamps foiling their foes. Right behind him, you got We Chillin', who has not lost since they've joined the division after week 1. Doom Anvil's kind of turning around that week 1 loss, and they have been on a bit of a tear. And then You Worship Chaos coming off that big win over Ars Goatia that we just talked about a minute ago. And you got a 3-way tie for second. Now, I don't know if you have the playoff line open over there, but who's got a substantial advantage in terms of touchdown differential here?
It's We Chillin's out front still.
By how much?
By 1 touchdown. So 4 TD differential of 4 for We Chillin, 3 for Doom Anvils, and 1 for You Worship Chaos. So it's still anybody's ball game, but man, TD differential for the Vamps of 7. So even if you manage to tie him, you're gonna have to get some blowouts.
Yeah, it really. Especially with that 3-0 victory Castlevania Creeps just put up, they're really getting out in front now.
Yeah.
Can we do it? Yes, we can. With McMackey is not too far, just a point behind all of them, with the 2 ties instead of the loss. And then DeCog's War 1 point behind him. So you've got a good little 6-horse race here before the point values for these teams drops off. So it'll be fun to see how this shapes up over the kind of the remaining 2/3 of the season.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, so let's roll over and make some picks for the Fearsome Fives.
They took an L, but tonight I bounce back, boy. I've been broke as hell, catch the check and bounce back. D-Town LAX, every week I bounce back. Whoa, if you a real one, then you know how to bounce back.
Match day 5.
Match day 5. So yeah, the season goes by so quick. Just yesterday.
Where has the time gone?
Seemed like a little baby season, running in the yard barefoot. And now it's getting sassy, not eating its broccoli anymore. Real pain in the ass. All right, who we got first?
So first up is, can we do it? Yes, we can. Or can we against the Castlevania Creeps? This is a big win, a big game for the Camry if they want to unseat the Vamps and keep themselves on track for a potential playoff spot.
Yeah, this will do them a lot of good to get this win now and not dip any further back, whereas the Creeps are kind of in the driver's seat. This is a tough, I don't know, I always have a hard time kind of picturing a matchup with Vampires versus especially bashy teams.
Yeah.
Kimry are kind of faster than you think, but they're almost like the Vamps in a way in that they've got a bunch of glassy secondary pieces.
Half the team with armor 7.
Yeah, just like the Thralls over on the Vampire side. So if the Vamps can get the removals on the Skeletons, I think the Kimry will have a really hard time with diminished numbers. Whereas if they can get the Thralls out of the way and keep their numbers up, then they take advantage. So I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a tie. I think I'm going to go with the Creeps and see if I can jinx Sam.
Yeah, the one thing going for these Kemri in the removals game is that he's got 2 Blitz Raws with Mighty Blow and Piling On now, and 2 Tomb Guardians with Mighty Blow Guard. So he's gonna be getting his Mighty Blow hits on pieces that he's not gonna want to take the hits on for the Creeps. But man, if there's a team that you can do some Vamp bullshit, sneak in on a failed pickup and pick up the ball, it's against Kemri. Gaze some Tomb Guardian and just waltz right past them. I think I'm going to pick the Creeps as well.
I just want to take a look real quick and see how much tackle. He's got 3 tackle on this team, including both of the blitz Ras.
Yeah. Some good blitz Ras for removing stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting. A couple baby Tomb Guardians in there.
If Creeps can protect those Vamps and not eat all the thralls, I think he's got a real shot.
Yeah, me too. So I guess we'll both pick them this week. All right. Next up, we got Frozen Dead North and Mr. Christie's Flingin' Fun. Who you like in this one?
See, I want to pick the Flings because they're halflings, but Frozen Dead North is looking really solid.
Yeah, they're kind of bouncing back from that rough start in the beginning of the season. I think I will. I think I'll go ahead and pick the Flings this time. He's really been giving people the business, and it feels like it's about time for him to kind of have another win to show for it. So I think it'll be an interesting game. I do think the Wolves are going to eat good though in this game. Eat a lot of little fat men.
All right.
You're not picking?
Oh, I picked the Dead North.
Oh, okay. All right, who we got next?
Next up, we got Doom Anvils versus the Rottingham Rockers. Some punchy midweights in this division.
Yeah, they are. I think same as I liked them in the preseason. I think I like the Doom Anvils in this one to kind of get the edge on the Rockers here, the Nurdles. They're both pretty healthy, right? I don't think either.
Yeah, Doom Anvils just came off the game against the Wolfram Jacks, the Chorfoff, and just lost an Agi Bust on the Hobgoblin, so nothing serious.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Shreddy Mercury on the Rockers rather, can kind of pop off against this team. But I feel like honestly, Doom Anvils can kind of roll up against anybody. Here he is.
Shreddy Mercury took a level this game. Who did he take? What did he get?
He's a whole claw
he got
monster.
Pylon. He's the full bananas.
Yeah. He's the whole banana split.
Yep.
Versus a bunch of Claw Mighty Blow without piling on down here with Doom Anvils, but I think it's the volume of Claw Mighty Blow block tackle that's going to be the difference here. And then all these 3 strength ups on this team. So yeah, I'm going to stick with them. But this is if you like punches, there's going to be some fireworks in this one, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go with the Rockers. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Have a head-to-head. I don't know. For me, this is a coin flip. I feel like both Claw Mighty Blow teams, but
that's why I wouldn't pick a tie here. Is someone's going to get the injury edge on the other and run away with the game. It's hard for me to imagine them like stodging down.
I'm going Doom Anvils. I forgot how much strength up he's got, including Claw Mighty Blow strength. It's nice. That's a nice dwarf team.
Yeah, it is. And it's still young, relatively, in its development. Like, that's just going to get nastier, that team.
Yep.
All right. Next up, we got some Zons and some Goats. Some ladies and some goats.
Some Gambs and some Goaches.
Who you liking in this one?
I think I like the Amazons. I think I like Gamscals. I mean, this is going to be. Let me double check how much tackle he's got on the Ars Goatia. Just 1 tackle piece, although it is his killer eye post. But it's going to be tough to get knockdowns against the Amazons, and there's just going to do a lot of dancing.
Yeah, I think it's a tough match because he's only got like 1 tackle on Ars Goatia, I think. Maybe 2. I think it's on his carry goat and on his killer.
No, he's got 1.
Oh, is it just 1 on Ipos?
Ipos, yep.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, while you were back in the green room, Zeazetta, you know his name's pronounced Zeazetta? Or Zeazetta?
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's Zeazetta, not Zeazetta, which I've been saying for what feels like 3 years now. So yeah, Zeazetta slipped me a 20 while you were in the green room. So so I'm gonna go ahead and pick Ars Goatia in this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right.
Good luck with that, Zazoodas.
Hey, I gotta make my side Skrilla.
Side hustle.
Yeah.
All right, next up we got Thunderstrike versus You Worship Chaos.
This is the week where Wolf Rampajax gets out of the doghouse. I'm gonna pick the big upset here because he came out pretty healthy, right, out of the last one.
Yep. No pieces missing.
No dead things.
No
So,
dead things, but he is replacing a half a season's worth of dead things, so it's some fresh boys. But
that's why he's gonna explode and get these three dead Chorf blockers some points. 2 SPP across the 3 of them on these dwarfs.
yeah. The one thing going for him in this match is that the only claw on this team is the Yeti, so hopefully his armor 9 holds. But man, that Yeti is block, mighty blow, break tackle, juggernaut. But he's niggled, so if you can get him down, give him the boots. Get rid of your only real threatening piece on this. Actually, that's not true. There's some dirty player alignment and 2 mighty blow piling on tackle frenzy berserkers to nothing to laugh at.
Yeah, you just need to not get tempoed early against
Yeah.
them, which is what happened to Ars Goatia last week. So go watch that game, Wolfram, and try not to let that happen to you here. But Gaskell's a good coach. He knows what he's doing with these chaos. I think it's gonna be punchy one way or the other. This one. Norse, oily boys.
The oily boys. Next up, we got Cogs of War versus Corn's Glory.
Man, this is a buy then, right? Because didn't we say Tin Coin is going on vacation now?
That's true. Yep.
So I will go ahead and pick the Cogs of War.
Oh, with the upset. You should double check with 10 coin revert and just make sure, double check. But he was saying that he was planning on going on vacation. I guess I just don't know for sure if it's this week or some other time in the future.
Yeah, we'll get it figured out. I think I'll still take the Cogs of War in this one. I think they just lost like 1 lower in Dwarf. Now they're still at 10.
Just a miss next game on a Troll Slayer is all they lost.
Yeah.
So nothing permanent. Yeah. Me too.
All right. And last up, we got Nightmare on Elf Streets, Sunhawk versus Wee Chillins, Delphoff.
Delphoff.
Who can take one punch a...
Lundgren.
Who can take one punch a turn the best. I think I'm going with Wee Chillin in this one. Just because it feels like he's putting something magical together with this team, and they just can't stop winning.
He's got the magic, all right, but man, the Sunhawk team is looking crazy. He's got a plus strength, plus agi, leap, dodge, tackle, blitzer. So 7-4, 5-8, and 2 other agi 5. One of them also, he's got 2 agi 5 leapers with tackle. That's wild stuff. I mean,
I can't really give any good analysis for a game like this because every time I watch elves play elves, everyone's just running around on the field wherever they want to be.
Yeah, and I'm not used to it. I have no, what do we do with my hands? You just dodge away from everything.
Yeah.
That said, I didn't realize this, but Wee Chillin has 2 agi 5 blitzers on his own. Yeah. I had realized that. So it's going to be the agi 5 off, I guess.
Yeah, who can run through more tackle zones?
Man, this got a lot of development on this team. It's looking really nice.
I think they're a little healthier on the Wee Chillin side.
At least he's got a bench. Sunhawk doesn't have a bench, but no perms on. No perms.
Yeah, no perms.
I'm gonna go with Sunhawk, Nightmare on Elf Street, and but I think this is gonna be. It's gonna be. I wouldn't be surprised if Wee Chillin took this one as well. Kept it up.
Kept up to the dancing. The dancing and scowling. Some of the most unhappy dancers, Dark Elves, you have seen.
Yeah, I'm wearing the leather pants and being all. It's like, I haven't taken this off in weeks. It stinks like butthole.
Yeah.
Let me do it. And they're like, no.
Yeah, I got the swamp ass.
You know how long it took me to put that shit on you? You're not taking it off.
Well, someone's going to take the other's pants off, and we'll see who it is this week. But yeah, dark elves. The dirty fellas. Yeah, so I think that about does it for the Fearsome Fives this week.
It does.
It sure does. So I guess we will go ahead and take a brief intermission, and then we will be right back with all the same stuff for the Fightin' Fours.
I'm going in for murder. Oh, pay attention, Mr. Officer. Never gonna catch me, you're never gonna catch me. No, 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 no. You are gonna waste your time. You are gonna waste your time. Your time. I won't go to Guantanamo. You won't put me in the jail. Oh no, you are never gonna catch me. You are never gonna catch me. Catch me. Never gonna catch me. Gonna catch me.
Never catch me.
That's a touchdown. I'm so excited my heart nearly started beating again. A memorable touchdown.
All right, well, welcome back, everybody, and welcome to the Fightin' Fours, living up to its name this week.
Yes, unfortunately.
Well, it wasn't just you. There were... One team was debatably completely destroyed, and another might have been finished off. And then, of course...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about myself here. I'm talking about everybody else. Some annihilations this week.
Yeah, it was pretty nasty. But I guess it's here's a good place to start. Is the Flyboys and the Necromantic Newbies here in the scoreboards.
So I was reading some patch notes on BattleTech the other day, and I saw that they patched out at some point. Accidentally, there was a bug where your chance to get a headshot on a mech was like way higher than it should have been. So you were getting out there and just like, boom, headshot, your pilot's dying left and right. And you're like, what the fuck? This game is hard. And then they're like, oops, we accidentally we fixed it, tuned it down. Now your guys aren't going to get killed all the time. I'm wondering if that's happening in Blood Bowl.
So you saying the Cyanide could have possibly introduced a bug that's just
On
causing
accident.
everyone's teams to die like crazy?
I'm not saying they did it on purpose, but it sure seems like I'm seeing a lot of deaths and not as many, just regular old stat busts.
Well, despite the nice MVP here for Air Power, the Ogre, for the Flyboys, that might be about all the good that came out of this game for them.
Yeah.
2 deaths, 8 armor breaks going back the other way. And that translated into how many sustained? Maybe it's not so bad. 3 casualties sustained, 2 deaths. So obviously, why don't you run us through what's notable out of those?
So unfortunately, the deaths in this team were significant. They were both his Mighty Blow Blitzers.
Right, and they were both like
John
level 4 or something.
Boyd
Right?
was level 2, had block Mighty Blow, but Richard Ritchie was block, dodge, guard, Mighty Blow. And actually, John Boyd leveled this game before he died, so got the touchdown, would have leveled, but died. And then the miss next game on a loner, so that third Kaz was not a big deal. But
and he was already in the process of cycling in new blitzers who had died in previous games, if I'm remembering. Like that blitzer core, I think is completely leveled at this point.
Correct. Yeah, I think that's correct.
Yeah.
Let me look at last week's game real quick.
I mean, give him credit. He stayed scrappy. 39 blocks to 48 for the Necromantic Newbies. But totally different yields in terms of what they got for that. 4 KOs, 2 injuries, 2 kills for the Necromantic Newbies, as opposed to 1 Kaz and 1 KO for the nice human pink boys.
Yeah, last week I forgot he lost Lance P. Sigin, block, Mighty Blow, guard, tackle, blitzer. So 3 top tier blitzers on his team dead in 2 weeks is pretty brutal.
Yeah, this is. But he can just take a page from old Starstruck's mentality and just say, hey, at least it happened early, and I can focus on rebuilding for the rest of the season.
Yeah, that's true.
Which will be super easy with a Robbie and 2 dwarf teams to worry about, and a bunch of Necros, 3 Necro teams.
Yep.
Any other notable stuff out of here? Flyboys actually had a reasonably good SPP day, mostly because it looks like they were throwing the ball around.
Yeah, unfortunately, 3 of those went down with the ship on John Boyd, but...
John ODA 4.0 Boyd.
Yeah. Uda 4. I don't know.
Uda 4.
Must be a pilot. All these fly boys. Air Power, that's the only one that I get.
That's a great MVP, though, and that is a very nice Ogre anyway. So this is, I guess, the chance to see if he can finally get that block and another 4 points.
Yeah.
And then what did Kalen Reed, the white, to guard? And that's a nice,
Guard, yep.
Yeah, nice flesh out there.
Yeah. It's like the decision between taking guard or Mighty Blow as a first level on your white. It's like guard if you want to win, Mighty Blow if you want to develop. And he's got 2 whites with no Mighty Blow, so he's in it to win it.
in it for the long run.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to touch on here?
No. Let's move on to the next one. Things Dwarves Hate 2-0 win over One True Path. From what I understand, this was nearly a pitch clear, or it was a pitch clear. I'm not sure exactly which, but
It wasn't quite a pitch clear, but it was pretty close. I think he had 2 guys left, maybe 3 at the end of the game. This was just a good old ass whooping. Tim got the breaks early and just kept piling them
often.
on. Yeah, early and often.
57 blocks, 15 breaks. Of those 15 breaks, he got 6 KOs, 6 Kaz.
Yeah.
Oh, and 2 serfs. Yeah, so some of them came on serfs. But yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Not to
12
mention
removals on 15 armor breaks.
an additional sustained KO and an interception for the Dwarves.
The pick just to rogue it in.
Yeah. I didn't see the very end of the game, or I had kind of stopped paying attention at that point. But yeah, it was there were a couple opportunities for One True Path. James Typhoon in the first half, as Tim was kind of marching in for his first score, but he wasn't really able to turn that into anything. This was just kind of what was discussed in REBBL Discord chat right after the game. It was very active conversation by both parties.
Yep. Yeah. Luckily for James Typhoon, and unlucky for me, most of his missed next games were on loner goats. One of them was on a plus agi wrestle tackle goat, so that'll be nice not to have to face next week. But otherwise, no perms and 2 big levels, including this MVP on Rasputin.
Yeah, adding guard to the Chaos Warrior instead of piling on.
Yeah, and then he's got a rookie Beastman that leveled who hasn't picked his level up yet. So
it must be something good.
That'll be. But then over here with the MVP, Tim's got Rudy Giuliani going crazy over there on Twitter, and he's looking at this MVP and he's like, "Oh, look at this motherfucker go!"
9 points for the roller in this game.
Tweeting you, yeah. Picked up guard, first level on the roller.
Yeah, and he's well on his way to the next one.
Yep.
What's he need to... What's level... It's 16 points, so he's only 2 points away.
Yeah, it's just a Kaz. Yeah, so he's just blowing... He lost that roller, or cycled that roller, and wishes he didn't, but his roller feels bad. He's making it up for him.
Yeah. He's saying, look, he's like when they drafted Kristaps Porzingis. And they booed him. He turned into the best player in the generation for the Knicks. So yeah, it's like that. Everyone booed you. You too. But then he put on a hell of a show. I mean, this is a massive SPP day, and I think this was in the 20s.
Yeah.
I mean, you alone with 9. That's another 10 there. That's 19. Yeah, this is well into the 20s. And then Fnipper picking up his customary 1 Kaz a game MVP, and then a pass on Pantybeard.
Yep. For the level on Pantybeard.
So 1 successful pass, 1 pass to a dwarf in that game.
Yeah.
All right.
Not much to say about the rest of that. Big win for Tim. Moving on to the game of death. Looking at REBBL Rage Quit versus Fallen Wonders. Man, you got taps queued up. Can you play taps? This is brutal.
Does taps go, Robbie? Body parts. Ow!
It's play one then the other, I guess.
Yeah.
Man, Fallen Wonders with the win.
Just
Killed him this game. Scored all the points. Almost kept up with blocks. But no. It was 33 armor breaks for the Chorfs. 4 KOs, 8 Kaz, 2 deaths. And they were big deaths. Catcher that took the MVP and 61 skill points to its grave. And as well as Aki Daki Orthea, dodge, catch, block, plus strength frenzy catcher. Both died. And then My boy Alcano the Seducer, strong arm accurate plus movement thrower,
Took a niggle, right? Yeah.
Yep. And move bust on a move busted blitzer with dodge block guard stand firm. And then miss next game on another blitzer with a billion levels. Strength bust on another linewoman. And miss next game on a kick wrestle linewoman. I think that's everything. A miss next game on a plus strength block niggled linewoman. And that's it. I think that's it.
In terms of remarkable numbers, of which there are a few in this game. First, I want to point out 6% ball possession in the win for the Fallen Wonders versus 62 for Arabi. 26 blocks turning into 33 armor breaks.
Yeah. So what does that mean? That means he got armor breaks on fouls?
Yeah, some of that is foul. It does count fouls, is what they
broke armor, got stuns or KOs, and re-rolled it on pylon to get another. Try to go for the Kaz.
It might be both, but people did say in Discord as they were discussing these wild numbers that in fact the fouls, if they break armor, will show up in the broken armor stats. 8 injuries on top of that, 2 kills, 4 KOs. That's just inflicted. Sustained is 12 casualties.
Yeah.
Just brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Oh, like I just described, most of them were sustained injuries. They're not badly hurts. He's going to be missing a majority of his team next week.
Yeah, well, he's sitting pretty at 920 team value right now. Remarkably, the team is still in pretty okay shape. Despite
it's a serious setback, but
yes.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying that it's as competitive a team, and this was a very good Amazon team.
Yeah.
But Alcano's Seducer, despite being niggled, is still good kind of at what she does.
Yeah, and
this is the kill. This is just a missing
all
game.
of his Agi up players made through unscathed, which is probably the most important ones.
They did. They all lived. Miss next games only on the already niggled plus strength Lino. And the killer here, the blitzer, Silena Anya. Yeah, she just got the miss next game. So, there's still a team here. And he's got 110k in the bank, so he can start buying in new ladies. But yeah, this is going to be a lot of loners. What's he got? Six returning players for the next game. Whew.
Yeah, it's brutal.
It is something. All right, should we move on to the next horrible dismantling of a team?
Yeah, let's do it.
Film Flayers with the big 3-1 victory over Jazz Poison. 3 deaths in this one.
Yeah, this is another, play the taps. I'm so sorry, Space Lion. I keep pointing out players on your team that are amazing and so good, and they all die every single time. This week, he's got 3 deaths, including Cannonball Aconite III, who is a replacement for Cannonball Aconite, the first and second, which both died, I think. This one leveled and then died. He's got his troll, Ella Citronella. I thought that was a block troll, but maybe I'm mistaken. But doesn't matter, it's dead. And then a rookie goblin, which died, which is not that big a deal. But niggle on the other thrower, Deathcat Brubeck, which is a sure hands block leader thrower. So missing that leader reroll for next game. And then missing Strychnine Rollins, his block Mighty Blow Claw Horns Blitzer for next game as well. So this thrower picked up all 8 SPP in this game and then died, so sucked up all of his SPP. He did have two Kaz on Strychnine Rollins, but goddamn, this is brutal, and it's not even like he's getting a chance. Like, oh, this guy's move busted or Agi busted. It's like they're just dying. week after week, multiple deaths.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of this one, and he made it a game with even got that early score. But by the time he scored, I think in turn 6 in this game, he had to survive 2 more turns to prevent the 1-1 at the halftime. And I think at that point he only had the troll and 6 goblins running around. And and they managed to get rid of a few more of those before they went into the second half. So 3-1 is maybe even a kind score compared to the damage.
I know Film Flayers lost a Flesh Golem last week to a death and picked up a new one, Gorgeous George, and he fed him 2 touchdowns to give him a level already. So 1 game in with a brand new Frank, and he's already picking up block.
Got that block right back.
Yeah, so I mean, he was feeding the Frank touchdowns specifically to level him, so I'm sure that slowed down. He probably could have gotten more if he wanted it, but.
Well, not a bad day for the Wolves. Cujo getting another touchdown, and Lassie adding 2 more hearts.
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
2 mighty blow tackle block Wolves.
And I believe that keeps Film Flayers at 4-0-0 as well.
It does. Top of the division, undefeated, keeping it rolling. Gets tempo every game and removes pieces, and it works. It's really, really effective for him this year.
Now, this is turning into quite a good Necro team.
Yeah.
Speaking of good Necro team, we're going
One more game. We got Lizard Beats 1-1 tie against Starstruck.
In a heroic comeback game for the Starstruckians, coming off their Arabi game the week before. Similar to the Amazons' Arabi game in the week before. And making a nice little tie out of it. Even getting a decent little SPP haul. Did they buy this guy from Arnulf? No. They did not. That's good because he's got a whack name.
Arnulf. Sounds okay. But he's not there. Move bust on a backup skink with a strip ball.
Yep.
So that's unfortunate, but not that crazy, not that big a deal. And then a miss next game on a kick lineman. That's the only 2 injuries carrying over to next week. Considering there were, look at this, 7 armor breaks and 6 armor breaks.
Yeah.
And they got, on those 7 armor breaks, the Lizards got 5 removals, 4 KOs, and a Kaz. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, good yield for the Lizards.
But
not a lot.
This is pretty even.
Yeah, it's very even.
Yeah. This game, very similar stats-wise across the 2 teams.
I think Captain Deuce described the game as a lot of running around, and the 106 yards running would tend to back that up, as well as the 2 passes, 2 catches. An extra 16 yards passing there. No, he did not. He took an extra Kaz? No, he didn't. Yeah, the Kaz numbers equal. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The Lizard Beasts have an additional 2 casualties sustained than were inflicted, so a couple Kaz's coming off of either failed GFIs or dodges in this one.
Yep.
Which is unfortunate, but maybe that's part of why they got a tie.
Yeah. Luckily, the Lizard Beast got MVP on Garpek the Third. Saurus picked up a level. He has not picked what that skill will be, but it's probably like block or something. So that's big. Getting that first level on a Saurus is a big deal.
And nothing for Starstruck in terms of advancement?
Nothing for Starstruck in terms of development. Decent SPP for a 1-1 game with not a lot of Kaz.
Yeah, 12 points to 10 points for the Lizard Beasts. Yeah. All right.
Moving on to the death of my second hero wolf in 2.5 seasons.
Moon. Oh, and look, Troxbirds got you MVP.
Troxbirds got my MVP. He's a good boy. That trophy zombie. Where's this? There it is. Yeah, so this was Basunda came off last week and he had lost I think he had 3 Sauruses coming into this match. He had
3
a
or 4,
ton of
yeah.
inducements, picked up Slibley and something else. I forget if he got, maybe just he got Babes.
And Slibley did work, right?
So he had the 4 Sauruses. He had a ton of Loner Skinks, and his Crocs was out. So I was thinking okay, this is be a decent chance to pick up some SVP on my Wolves. They got tackle, and they'll just run around and get free 2-die blocks on these Loner Skinks. And fucking rolled Dub Skulls and on a Loner Skink block and just dies. What the fuck? What a bummer.
And failed the Jenny.
Went out like a pussy, not like Hannibal. Went out like a hero.
And spawned some memes, I believe. Some damn it Moon.
Yeah.
Someone made with impact bold font.
Silly memes. Yeah, it was Rumblebee. He was anticipating Moon Death's report so that he could drop memes. But this game, I mean, Bus spent every single one of his rerolls in the first 4 turns trying to pick up the ball and could not. And it was brutal. He finally picked up the ball and turned it over on some bullshit. I forget exactly what happened, but ball squeaked out. I managed to get the touchdown, and that was the decider. In the second half, he didn't really. I kicked off to him, I think, but he didn't really have much players left to do anything. Lots of skinks, but I couldn't score either. So because I had no Wolves, no Ghoul, I had my Franks and Whites, I think.
There's raining skulls here in Fighting Fours.
I think I might be mixing up another game that I watched, but anyway, whatever. It sucked. I blacked out. I don't remember the second half that well.
You just your eyes glazed over with like a red film. The red
I was very excited about having Moon for the games that I had him. And I was really thinking this is going to be my chance to make a run. But I was always I knew he was going to die this season somehow. And when he died, I was like, man, that's a bummer. It didn't really hit me like Hannibal's death hit me. So maybe I'm just conditioned, but...
Well, you didn't raise him from a pup either.
Yeah.
Picked him up as an old stray.
Just a stray off the street. He bit me once or twice.
He bit you good this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had to be put down. Couldn't even hit a skink.
Welcome back, Paris Stilton. My wolf came back from retirement. Forgot everything he knew how to do. And
right back on the horse.
Back to the grindstone.
See, maybe now you've paid your wolf tax enough, and you'll start getting those stat ups on your own.
I don't know. Again. I also lost a Mighty Blow wolf in clan this week. So I lost two important wolves this week to deaths. It's garbage.
It is. Well, congrats on the win. It's an important one for the standing, yeah.
Staying in contention, yeah.
All right.
Speaking of standings. Oh, no, wait. We got one more game.
Yeah.
And a big one.
Culinary Delights.
Culinary Delights versus Kyle's Cowboy Dwarfs. 1-1 tie.
3 deaths.
But poor Troxbirds. Holy cow.
3 deaths on 24 armor breaks. And
yeah, and 2 of them are Chaos Warriors. Those deaths. One of them is his best one. Tong Seng.
Tong Seng, the Blodge one.
Mighty Blow. Yeah. No, Blackguard Mighty Blow.
Oh, I thought the Blodge one died as well.
Blodge one is not dead. He's the only one that's remaining, I think.
Yeah, 54 blocks for the old Cowboy Dwarfs. Almost a bit of an
breaks.
Yeah, 24 breaks on 54 blocks. 3 KOs, 7 injuries, and 3 kills inflicted, which is the same as the sustained. And I watched a good bit of this before I kind of lost interest. And it was just brutal. It was out of hand early and often. And yet Trox still managed to squeeze off the old tie. Because Kyle was just a punching. Got the bloodlust. Got murderous on purpose. And,
I think I remember Kyle saying he was drinking while he was playing this game. So maybe the drinking and the bloodlust, the red eyes, made him forget about winning the game. But
yeah, he's getting the hits. 54 of them.
Oof. Some notable pieces missing for next game besides the dead Chaos Warriors. He's got a miss next game on the Chaos Warrior, and a miss next game on Noctrina Gold, his Horns Wrestle Tackle plus Strength Beastman.
Right.
Who is niggled and are agi-busted. But yeah, so next week, another team that's going to be super trim.
Well, I think he's talking
team
now.
value.
His quit desires have, I think, escalated now to he's not going to buy any more Chaos Warriors. And he's just going to ride. He's just going to ride loners out to the remainder of the season.
So yeah, he has some decently developed goats left, and he's got his 2 Chaos Warriors. One has Mighty Blow when it comes back next week, and then his Blodge Chaos Warrior is still here, 1 SPP away from a level. But yeah, I mean, he just loses them so fast, and he's very done with this Culinary Delights version 2 team. I think he was maybe on the fence about bringing them back this season. In the first place, he wanted to reroll, but stuck it out and is getting punished for it.
And now he's fallen off the fence and into the shrubs of a new team. He's already dreaming about sugar drops in his head of, I don't know, something else.
He's dreaming about Kislev, I think he was saying. So somebody should knock some sense into him and talk him out of it. But
yeah, well, you know, when you constantly have expensive good pieces dying, the thing to do is switch to Kislev. Because that never happens to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I think that does it for scores here in the Fighting Force. A little rhyme there. And next we're going to run in and do some spotlights.
Spotlights?
Hey, baby, kom maar zien, laat me je zeggen wat ik heb. Hey, ik heb mijn broek laag, pet laag, ja, iedereen roept. Stop.
All right, and who are we looking at this week?
I forget.
Robbie.
All right. We're going to look at REBBL Rage Quit, coached by Robbie.
The man, the myth, the legend. 1-0-3, and somehow the most talked about, feared team in maybe all divisions, maybe all of REL this year.
This league needs an enema.
And he's given this division an enema at the very least. Oh, and this is a nasty team.
Yeah. So let's just dive right into this. We'll start with the Bulls down at the bottom, which pick up Block, Mighty Blow, Piling On, which a lot of people have said. I think James Typhoon said before he was facing Arabi, he's like, "Oh, this is great. I'm definitely gonna win this game. Look at these Bulls they have Piling On. It's so dumb. It's like yada yada. It's not the best optimal skill choice, but it doesn't matter because he's just gonna hit you and pile on every turn. So it doesn't matter that the Bulls got Piling On and it's on the ground."
Well, I think
he's also gonna say that again.
I was going to say, I think we said in the preview in the beginning of the season is the only time Arabi's happy is at the end of his turn. He's got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys laying on the ground at the end of his punches.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he's got, if the punches and the piling ons don't do it, he's got 2 hobgoblins with Dirty Player, including Timmy the Jimmy and Mad the Tard.
Mard the Tard.
I don't think I've ever looked at the player names on Arabi's team.
Yeah, they're good.
Michaels really sucks. Canadian Bacon Reborn, Peckerhead Timmy. Oh boy.
Yeah, there's a lot of zest in this naming scheme. A lot of zest in his game. He used to have 3 dirty players, so I guess he's upped his game. And I guess I thought he had 6 guard before, but not on a hobgoblin. But why not? Nuffle is rewarding him for his purity, his philosophical purity.
Yeah. So all of his cast warriors have Mighty Blow. 5 of them have Piling On. 5 of them have Guard. 3 of them have Claw. 2 of them have Dauntless as well. And he will pile on every block.
Yeah.
And
Without
foul every
hesitation.
block. He will pile on with the ball carrier, if that is what has happened with the ball. And he will foul with the ball carrier. He'll foul on turn 16 near the end zone when he could walk it in and win the game. He'll foul with that player instead and definitely cost him the win.
I mean, that was an instrumental part of Moniker making playoffs last season.
That's
He
correct,
had the opportunity to score the ball, and he couldn't turn the foul up.
Yeah, he didn't foul with the ball carrier, but he did foul and got ejected, which caused a turnover and ended the game, so he wasn't able to score and win it. Or tie it, I forget.
I think he was going to tie it, and that would have been a big loss, or a big blow to Moniker's playoff velocity.
Yeah. I think it would have been very difficult for Moniker to make it if not for that win. So it was big. And then the one game that Orabi won this season was the only time I was very surprised. I thought Orabi had turned a leaf. He turned down a turn 16 foul opportunity on one of two players left on the field to run it in for a touchdown. I was very surprised. I thought for sure the foul was coming. I didn't know what to do with myself when he scored for the win.
I think something similar happened this week towards the end of the game, where he had the ball in a Bull's hands, and a foul or something happened, and he wound up not scoring, even though he clearly had plenty of room on the pitch to maneuver and go score. He somehow fouled his way out of that situation.
So everybody's got this match scheduled on or circled on their schedules.
Yeah, it's a rite of passage. You gotta if you're gonna take a shot at the crown in this division, you gotta be able to get through this game in one piece. And I don't know what's better, getting him early or getting him late in your season. Probably early.
Yeah, I mean, last season when we played him in REL4, I had got him before he had any Mighty Blow. Had any Claw. So he was piling on my Franks. At that time, I didn't have any Wolves. I got him early, so both my Wolves had just been dead. So I had rookie Wolves. But I had really good Franks, and he was focused on him, piling him on, fouling him, and luckily, no Claw meant that was pretty ineffective, and I managed to skirt through relatively unscathed. I think I lost like 3 zombies or something, but I don't know that's going to happen this when I play him at the end of the season. I have him late this season. Week 10.
No, you mostly need to hope that your Kaz dice are kind, and that you're pulling a lot
Just
of
gotta
badly
hope
hurts and miss next
for
games.
badly hurts,
Yeah. I mean, if you're focused on the ball and making plays and maneuvering, you should be able to beat him. I think most teams should be able to beat him. If the real catch is, can you stay alive long enough to do that? Because this is as pure a removal team, and people forget that he's got a good amount of guard.
Yeah.
He's not you can't just body him up and keep him from getting good dice on you. He's gonna get his
not
hits.
anymore. Yeah.
I think elves probably have the best survival rate against him just because they can run away.
Yeah, run away more effectively. No, I think the counter for Robbie is focus on getting one guy down on his team and then fouling that player with your best player, getting him off the field and ejected safely. And then try just leave enough. I mean, you can get the win on him. He doesn't really play the ball every time. He doesn't not play the ball, but it can be pretty straightforward to get the ball away from him and score. It's just what it's going to cost you.
Yeah, it's doable, and he'll kind of let you do it if you offer him up kind of the rest of your team process. You want to do the song one time so we can get a nice harmony going? You lead off. Oh, Robbie.
Body parts.
Ow. We forgot the ow when we did it last week, and then Superfed pointed that out, and I went and watched the commercial, and sure enough, there's a little ow, which is even more perfect to match in.
Yeah.
Well, congrats, Robbie, on your most purpose-built team I've ever seen. And I guess we'll see if you hang out in the fours for another year, you get relegated, or maybe you go on a win streak. Start chasing up into the upper divisions. We shall see. All right, let's take a quick look at the leaderboard.
Let's do it.
Hey yo, I'm gonna be on top. That's all my eyes can see. Victory is mine, yeah, surprisingly. I've been laying, waiting for your next mistake. I put in work and watch my status escalate.
All right, like we said before, there's Holes chilling up at the top. It is Necromantic Mania up there at the top.
Look at these groupings.
I know.
3 Necro, 2 Dwarf, 2 Chaos, side by side. The humans are split and the lizards are split.
Yeah, it's a little grab baggy at the bottom.
It's like this is where your people belong, in the middle or at the top or something. Crazy.
Well, and look at who tied for second place. You got Yoshi and his Necromantic movies. You have 920 TV in fall with Fallen Wonders, who I think can still stay in this race, but it's much more uphill at this point.
Yeah, he gets a significant number of high TV players back next week.
Yeah.
So as long as he can not cascade into even more death on Agi pieces, I think he's still in it. Just gonna be harder.
Yeah, and we'll see in the schedule here who he's got next week in a second. And then you're right, yeah, there's the Dwarfs, Cowboy Dwarfs, Calmere, 2-2. Honestly, that was a pretty... He would be cleanly in second place if he won that game instead of tying. So that was a big tie for both him and Trox.
Yep, he would.
He'd be 3-1-0.
3-1-0. Yeah, he would have taken second place.
But that's the difference. That's the big difference. And then Tim Nielsen, starting off 0-2, has kind of clawed his way right back into the middle of the table here. Yeah.
The Tim way. Clawing back.
Clawing back with his grubby little fingers. And then despite Trox's disaffectation for this season, he and James Typhoon are right there behind the Dwarfs, 7 and 8.
Yeah,
hanging
win
tough.
a piece.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, let's take a look at what games are up next and see how that's going to shake this this table up with some picks.
They took a L, but you're not a bounce back, boy. I've been broke as hell, catch the check and bounce back. D-Town LAX, every week I bounce back. If you a real one, then you know how to bounce back.
All right, who we got first?
First up, we got Necromantic Newbies and Film Flayers.
Big one.
Who, Film Flayers, just point out, have a +10 TD differential this season.
Really?
That's a significantly high number. I think it is the highest in REL. Yep, it is.
So this is an interesting matchup of Necro teams. They have kind of similar wolves and reasonably similar builds, but Yoshi plays a lot more conservatively, and Holes is right out there.
Hyper-aggressive.
Hyper-aggressive, and it's been working for him. So who do you like? You think Holes keeps it going, or you think Necromantic Newbies have a chance to upset the apple cart here? You're a Necro coach.
The Necromantic Newbies definitely have a chance to upset. They have a lot more dodge than your standard, maybe not a lot more, but he's got a Blodge White and a Blodge Frank, which is nice. And he's got his full complement of guard, including a really nice ghoul. But man, I mean, I think he could definitely win it. It's just a matter of, is he going to be able to retaliate on Holes' aggressive piling on blitzes that he's definitely going to make? Because once Holes gets tempo on you, he just fouls and removes pieces and piles on without hesitation.
Yeah. So I guess the question is, does he get himself in trouble with that early, and then you capitalize on the counterattack?
So I think Holes is definitely setting himself up to have a game where he does not remove that piece in your backfield on his piling on, and gets fouled off the pitch early, and then it snowballs back against him the other way. I think that definitely is on the table in this game. But so far, his dice have been pretty solid, and it hasn't been the case.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna pick Film Flayers, but I'm rooting for the Newbies.
Yeah, Yeah, well, it's good for that's certainly good for you to get the upset here.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and take the other side of the table. Say the newbies' conservative play might actually benefit them here, and maybe get holes in some trouble. I don't know if I really believe it, but but I'm dreaming big. I need to be the last remaining 4-0-0 coach, or all-win coach. I don't know how you describe it when you got ties in the mix. All right, next up we have. Man, Arabi just gets to feast. A bunch of stunties and a bunch of armor 9 guys for him to just chew through. Who can't get away? Sources cannot get away from him.
Yep.
Does Lizard Beast have break tackle sources? I'm just gonna look.
He has one break tackle Saurus, but he's AV8.
Oy. Well, yeah, everyone's AV7 on this team.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be tough. Gex Jr. Is looking, he's pulling the collar, and he's got the sweat coming off his brow. This is his star skink, block plus movement skink. Maybe foul with him early and get him off the table. But
well, I think that skink is going to be how he wins the game 1-0, and I am going to pick Lizard Beasts to win this.
Yeah, me too.
Because I do think with these skinks, he's going to just squirt through and get that one touchdown he needs to win.
Yeah, I'm picking Orabi to win this one just to spite us. He's gonna pick up the ball one time and he's gonna be like, I'm gonna score. You know what? He's gonna screw those guys.
Well, he said that before last week, and then he did exactly the same thing he always does. So I don't know. He keeps saying like, I'm gonna start winning now just to prove you guys wrong. and he just kept Arabiing, you know. You can't change a zebra can't change his stripes, Robbie. The dwarf can't push his claws back into his wrists.
No Wolverine.
All right, next up we got One True Path and you. But he's a little dinged up, as I recall.
Not really.
He's at 1300.
2 of his missed next games were on loners. He is a little dinged up in the sense that he's got a short. He doesn't have a bench. He's running at
7. Yeah, he's got 7 players for this game that
he's
are
got
not
7
loners.
players for this game. Yeah. So he's gonna have a bunch of loners, but I think he likes to play it that way. I don't think he likes to run with a bench.
Right. He likes the fodder goats.
Yeah.
So even enough that you're not taking him lightly. It sounds like.
Yeah. Luckily, the one piece he's missing is his only stat-up piece, so it's just going to be an Agi 3 off for the most part with my Fresh Wolf and his claw pieces. So I think it'll be a good game, interesting matchup.
Yeah, I think I'll still take you in this one, despite the lack of a moon. Paris Stilton, I think, is probably chomping at the bit, ready to get back in there, relearn all the things she forgot.
Hopefully, I remember to protect my balls.
Yeah. Are you gonna pick yourself, or are you just gonna leave this one alone and avoid the jinx?
I'm gonna leave it. I think I'm not gonna pick my games. It feels weird. I pick myself to win every week. It doesn't work out for me.
You gotta believe it. It has worked out. You're right. Up there.
It has worked out. Yeah. That's true. It does seem like every other week, though, I have a game where I dominate, destroy, murder, death, kill everything, and then the next week I get pitch cleared or lose my best player, and then vice versa. You know, I keep alternating back and forth. So last week I lost Moon, which means this week is my murder, death, kill week. So let's see if that pattern keeps up.
Yeah. Speaking of murder, death, kill, this is the Recovery Bowl here with the Flyboys and Trox.
Oh, it'll look good. Good timing for this matchup for these two teams.
I mean, if I was these two teams, I'd be so relieved to play each other. Even though Trox doesn't care, he's not rebuilding, I guess, so it's less of a relief and more of a chore.
Yeah.
But for Flyboys, this is great, because you're probably only going to see 2 Chaos Warriors and 1 million Loner Goats. And it's a good opportunity to start getting some Blitzers built back up again, because you need it. I'll go ahead and take the Flyboys in this one, because I don't know if Trox's heart is in it anymore.
I'll go there with you. I'll take the Flyboys.
Yeah.
For this hill.
Die on this hill together.
Yeah. Next up,
Dwarf
got-
off.
Dwarf off. Things dwarves hate. Cowboy dwarfs. What do things dwarves hate? And maybe hills, because they got those short little legs.
They
don't
hate
like those
other
hills.
dwarfs. Oh, that's a good name for one of his next dwarves. Is other dwarfs.
This will be an interesting match, because if I recall,
I think they're both pretty
they
healthy.
both lost. I was gonna say they both lost a significant number of pieces, but actually no.
I think they both lost like
Kyle
one
did
good.
not.
Yeah, I think they both have like a troll slayer or something out.
Kyle's missing a guard longbeard, and has
Right.
2 longbeard levels pending, and that's it. Otherwise, very solid, good, strong boys. Tim was mediocre dwarves for a while after his game. Where he
Still
lost,
looking pretty nice.
but did he buy the new Blitzer?
He has a full
Yep,
13.
Captain Deuce. No, and Captain Deuce scored last week.
He did. He was able to hand off to him in that
That's
win.
good.
Um,
So he's got his full roster, but
I believe Kyle will be getting inducements in this game.
that's crazy. 1960, yeah, 1820, which blows me away.
Yeah, you'd think with Tim's trimming, but he's earning it back quick enough. So that's
Or he just-
almost a wizard. I mean, Kyle's gonna get 2 levels, depending what that is. That'll probably put him out of wizard range, especially with only 80k in the bank. I'm gonna call this a 1-1 draw.
That's a good pick. Last time these two teams played last season, Kyle lost many good dwarves.
Yeah.
Tim killed a couple good cowboy dwarves, including his troll slayer that Clint Eastwood has replaced. And already got IG busted. So yeah, this will be interesting.
You almost wonder if the team that wins this game is the team that receives the ball in the first half and gets the tempo going.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Speaking of 2 beat up teams, I forget who Bus lost all of his players to. It wasn't a Robbie, but it was to Holes. No, it was to Holes. No, I didn't hurt anything. I couldn't
Okay.
hurt a fly then.
Oh yeah, Holes chewed him up real good with
Holes
his first
chewed
game
him up.
back.
Killed his Crocs and removed 2 or 3 sources, but now he's come back against Fallen Wonders.
He is, and what a time to come back. Despite the shape he's in, I think Fallen Wonders is in substantially worse shape, at least until those Mystics
Yeah.
games start resurfacing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and take Bus in this one. I think this is a good bounce-back game for him. Get back in the roll.
Yeah, Bus is just missing 1 Saurus, Block Mighty Blow. He's got 120k. Is that enough for Crocs? I don't think it is. Or
I think it's
just
130
close.
on a Crocs, if I remember correctly.
Okay, so no Crocs to tie up some Amazons, but Bus has very well developed sources, including multiple block, tackle, mighty blow sources. So should be an interesting game. I think I agree that Bus is in better shape. I think Fall has 2 positionals for this game.
Yeah.
So 2
So-
blitzers, and that's it.
Yeah, I think Bus has the pieces he needs to win.
Yeah.
And I think Fallen Wonders have a couple pretty good pieces left still. I think all the Agi pieces are around, which could be a
Yeah, I
problem.
mean, it's not going to be straightforward necessarily for Bus. It should be easier than if he did have these pieces, but
Yeah.
2 Agi4 and 1 Agi5 blitzer with Blodge or Raj. He's going to be able to squeak some stuff through if Bus isn't careful. So it should be an interesting game. Look forward to it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. All right, who
Last
we got
up.
last? Yeah.
Last up, we got Jazz Poison versus Starstruck. Another post-explosion matchup.
I think I'm giving this one to Starstruck because they're a little less freshly exploded. And Jazz
Yeah.
Poison just has... What do they even have left?
He has 1 blitzer, VX Gillespie, who's very good blitzer, but is niggled. Yep, niggled. But he does have block, mighty blow, claw, pylon, tackle, jump up. He's stellar.
It's just him.
But he is all alone. There's a Skaven lineman with no development, and then 5 goblins, and that's it. And he has 20k in the bank, so he's not replacing that lineman, he's not replacing that dead thrower, and he's not replacing that troll. This is going to be a shitty game for Spaceline. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, this is rough, and I believe the Flyboy, or not the Flyboy, Starstruck has no, not that much tackle. I thought they had more tackle than they do. They just got the one Vicky
but a 4
Valancourt.
strength block guy. Yeah.
Well,
No,
you don't even
he-
need it against goblins. 3 strength would do just fine.
Yeah, just you'll get your 3 dice on the goblins if you want, which is what you should do with all your guard. Make sure you get 3 die, and then not worry about the fact that you don't have tackle, because you just roll some pals occasionally.
Does that Blitzer
But
have
yeah,
dodge? No, he doesn't. Okay.
No, this will be a good game for you to get some levels on your new Blitzer, Turlina Firstborn. Oh, Turlina, I got it.
Turlina. Like, Turlina is how it was? I didn't look.
Turlina, comma, Firstborn.
Oh. Welcome into this
yeah.
world, Turlina.
Good opportunity to get some development off of some loner goblins. Just watch out for that murder Blitzer. But I have a feeling like it's going to be difficult to protect them.
But you had to talk about how good that Blitzer was, didn't you?
Oh no, I did.
What are you doing? What are you doing, Jimmy?
I did it again. I did it on accident after I said I wouldn't do it.
Ooh, look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. Oh, Jazz Poison. So sorry.
Yeah.
Such a beautiful team coming into this season, and then the Fighting Force happened.
Yeah, Kyle was telling me he recapped this team last season, and in his final episode, went on a little man, the future's looking so bright for this team. Everything's coming together for them. They look fantastic. He's like a teacher, 6th grade teacher, sending his kids off to middle school where they're going to start doing drugs and get arrested.
Yeah, basically.
It's like, you have so much promise. What happened to you?
Maybe it was Kyle that, in fact, cursed him and not us.
Kyle's curse, yeah.
Yeah, way
It's
to
the
go,
caster
Kyle.
curse, but you're pointing your caster blame on the wrong caster.
That's right. He's handing it off like when administration's change. It's like our tax codes are finally coming into effect, or his tax codes. Yeah. Well, so I think that does it for the Fighting Fours, and I think that does it for the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, it really is a tale of either the teams that are doing the butt whooping or the teams that are getting their butts whooped in this division.
Yeah.
More so than
And
last
unfortunately,
year.
the butts whooped teams are really getting exploded on. Not like last year where it was just a bunch of mismix games and stuff.
Yeah, a ding and a dent here and there.
Yeah.
For the most part last year. These are just complete team destroyers week after week.
Yeah.
Mostly for Jazz Poison, but not exclusively.
Yeah.
Oof. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in once again to the Punchmans Report. My name is Russ Seabutter.
I'm Jimmy Burrito. Thank you for listening. I appreciate the fuck out of you.
It's a pleasure to talk about Blood Bowl to your ears and your hearts. And I guess your minds by proxy. All right. We are gonna boogie on out. Late.
See ya.
I don't think I ever realized until that moment that it's pronounced Zeazetta.
Zeazetta, technically. Zeta is with 1 T.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So Zeazetta is the right way to say it.
Honestly, to me it didn't matter because both of them they were both in the same category of when I was gonna make my new username, because I used to go by really cringy Monkey King because I was a big Journey to the West fan, but then I was like, that's when you were like 13 and shit. Change that shit.
Oh,
Oh,
Robbie.
I wasn't ready for your pace here. Let's try it again.
Oh,
Oh,
Robbie.
Why are you going so slow?
You're going slow.
No, I'm gonna join in. I'm just trying to follow your pace. Is it that O like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta watch the commercial again to find out.
Nah, in the commercial it's like Robbie or O'Reilly.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, I'll do it then.
Yeah.
Oh. Ready?
Okay. Just don't hold up because I'm gonna join in like as you get going.
You're gonna laugh when you listen back to this.
Why?
This is exactly what I just said.
Oh. I was half reading things on the side.
Yeah, I figured, but you'll see when you listen to it. It's good.